The universal social charge calculated on gross income. The rate of USC are 2% on the first 10,036, 4% on the next 5,980, and 7% on the final balance. Neve earned €45,000 in 2011, 400 USC for that year. Well, our USC for that year is going to be 10,036 multiplied by, anybody?
0.02.
0.02. Then the next 5,980 is going to get taxed at 4%, and then 7% on the balance. So what is the balance?
45,000.
Now, it's 45,000, but you're going to have to take away some numbers. Okay? So guys, what we have here is we got to get our €45,000. Now remember, we've already taxed the first 1,036. We then taxed another 5,980, and that leaves a remainder of 28,984. 28,984. Now we're going to add all these together. So we're going to be 10. We can bracket it up as well. So we're going to have 10,036. Multiply by 0.02, and then we're going to add that to 5,980 by, what is it, 0.04, and then got it, by 0.04, and then finally we're going to add that on to 28,984. 28,984, and then multiply by 0.07. Put it in the calculator, and we get 2,468.80. Anybody get that? 2,468.80. Now, the table shows a selection of tax credits available in 2011. Single person, married, civil partner, widowed, surviving civil partner, home care PE, one parent family. Neve is a single person who is a payee worker. Calculate her total tax credits. Tax credits is tax you don't pay. So she's single, and she's a payee worker. So add the two of them together, and what do we get?
3,300.
3,300. 3,300 is our tax credits.
Sir?
Yes.
Can you just go over?
Hold for a second.
Yes.
Okay. Then, move on, next one. The standard rate of tax is 20%, the higher rate of tax is 41%. The standard cut-off rate for a single person is 32,800. Calculate Neve's tax bill for 2011. Okay. So, she earns 45,000, right? Yeah? And 32,800 of this is taxed at 20%, or 0.20. The remainder is what, guys? 45,000 take away 32,800. And what happens then? 12,200 is taxed at what? So 0.41. What's the two answers for the two of these? Anybody tell me? Well, the top one is 5,002. What about the bottom one, guys? Anybody? No? 6,560.
So where'd you get 12,200?
I multiplied your 12,200 by 41%. I took 32,800 away from 45,000 because your first 32,800 gets taxed at 20%. Anything that you earn above that gets taxed at 41%. So 45,000 is a bigger number than 32,800. Anything you make above 32,800 you get taxed at 41%, not 20%.
Where do you put that?
It's in part A of the question.
Oh.
Now, you add them together and you get what's called gross tax. Gross tax is 11,562. Can anyone tell me what I'm doing next? I take away my tax credits. You're meant to pay 11,562, but your tax credits of 3,300 means you don't pay that. So what you have left to pay then? 8,262. 8262. That makes sense?
Wait, where did you get the 1,300?
The 3,300.
Oh.
From part C of part B of the question.
Alright.
Calculate her total tax credits. Calculate Neve's net pay for the year after tax and UFC. So this is what's called income tax or tax payable. Okay. And realistically, that should all be in there. Okay. Now, what is how do you find somebody's net pay, lads? What's net pay?
Before tax.
So you have gross pay, which is
After tax.
gross pay is before tax, which is 45,000. How much income tax did you pay? Income tax is 62. How much USC did you pay? That's the answer to part 1. Part A?
24681
Point A. Now, get her gross pay, take away your income tax, take away your USC, and what do you get? 45,000 minus 8262 minus 2468.8, and you get 34,269.2. And that's her take home pay.
Wait, you just take.
That's this question A. Capacitor is the device which stores energy. It stores energy with the formula W equals a half CV squared. Okay, so find the energy stored in a capacitor when C is 2,500 and P is 32. So W equals a half 2,500 times 32 squared. And what do we get in that, guys? Anybody remember? One 1,280,000. So 1,280,000. And enough, right? What's the next question we want, lads? Express phi in terms of W and C. What does that want? Okay, what can we do at the start? Change it to CV squared over 2. What can we do then?
What is W over to?
W turns into 2W over 2. Where did the 2's go? Cancel. Where does the, you want phi on its own, so where does the C go? Yeah, so phi squared equals 2W over C. Phi is still not on its own. How do you get phi on its own?
Squared.
How do you get rid of a square?
Square root.
Square root the other side. Remember, guys, x squared equals 25. Therefore x, when you get rid of the square, it turns into root 25, which is 5. Same thing here. We square root the other side.
That's the opposite.
Yeah, okay. Now, statement. Okay, so what you're going to do here is... so, what you're going to do here is the following, guys, okay? You're going to do, there's a real number A, B, and C. If A is bigger than B, B is bigger than C, then A has to be bigger than C. Make up some numbers. I'm going to say that A is 5, B is 4, because A has to be bigger than B, and B has to be bigger than C. 3. Okay. Is A always bigger than C?
Yeah.
Is 5 always bigger than 3?
Yeah.
Always true. Okay? Let's make up new numbers for the next one.
You just take one of the boxes.
Yeah. If minus A is smaller than 4, so minus A is smaller than 4. Multiply both sides by minus 1. A is greater than minus 4. Do you remember the rules of inequalities? That if I had something like this, if I had 3 is bigger than 2, everybody agrees with that, right? What happens if I multiply both sides by minus? What happens to the sign in the middle? Has to reverse around, doesn't it? Because minus 3 is a smaller number than minus 2. So did everybody see what I did with the minus A less than minus 4? Less than 4. Multiply both sides by minus 1.
Why do you do that?
Just so we can compare it. A is bigger than minus 4, but B is smaller than minus 4. So what does that mean? A is bigger than 4. But this says then A is smaller than B. So is that true or false?
Sometimes true.
I'd go for never true. Because, look, read it. Read what it says. Minus A less than 4 is the same thing as A is bigger than minus 4. And then the other part says B always has to be smaller than minus 4. Therefore, A is always a bigger number than B. What about the next one? If A is greater than B, then minus A is greater than minus B. Let's check that out. 3 is greater than 2. Multiply both sides by minus. Is minus 3 greater than minus 2? No. They forgot to reverse around the sign, didn't they?
So never true.
Never true. Now, if A is bigger than B, but B is smaller than C, then A is smaller than C. Anybody have any opinions on that one? Sometimes true. Why is it sometimes true?
You don't know.
An example. Let B be 8, A is 10, and C is 9. In this case, they're both bigger than B. In this case, A is bigger than B. But imagine I change, bigger than C I mean. But imagine I change C into like 15. 15 is still bigger than 8. 10 is bigger than 8. But 15 is bigger than 10. In this case, A is smaller than C. So it's sometimes true. It doesn't always have to be true. What about the next question? 3A plus 1 greater than 2, then A has to be bigger than 0. Is that true or false?
Always true.
Let's see. 3A greater than 1. A greater than what? Anyone remember this? 1 over 3. A has to be bigger than a third. If A has to be bigger than a third, it must be bigger than 0. Always true. What about the next one? 2b minus 4 is less than 3b minus 8. Bring the 3b over the other side and the 4 over this side. What happens? John?
Well, it becomes minus 2b over this side.
Minus 3b.
And then the other side is minus 2b.
Minus 8. And the minus 4 turns into a?
Ah, so you said you bring the 2b over.
No.
And so it's plus 4 on one side.
Plus 4. Minus 4. Minus 8 plus 4. Minus 4. 2b minus 3b.
Minus 1b.
Multiply both sides by minus. Remember what I said when you multiply both sides by minus? B is greater than. So it's always true. Finally, if we have two numbers, A and B are positive, but A is a bigger number than B. So what do you want to call A? Pick a number. Pick a number for B. Has to be smaller than 5, doesn't it? Has to be smaller than 5.
Has to be bigger.
Oh, sorry, B has to be bigger, sorry.
12.
So 7 we'll go for, okay? 1 over A would be 1 over 5 is smaller than 1 over 7. Is that true?
No.
1 over 5 is not smaller than 1 over 7. So that is never true. Do you see the way you sometimes have to make up numbers to explain it back to yourself?
Yeah.
Now, this one here guys, number 14, okay? Now, what this means here is it says g of x is 2x to the minus 3. Everybody got that? And once we find out what g3 is, can anybody make a good guess of what to do? Replace x with 3. X gets replaced with 3. So replace this x here with 3. 2 to the power of 3 minus 3?
2.
2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 in your calculator? 1. Always use your calculator.
No.
Okay. Next one. This is a function h of x. H of x equals x squared minus 3x. What do you think ht is going to be? Take a wild guess. T squared minus 3t. Replace whatever is in here with whatever is in here. What do you think h of 2t plus 1 is going to be then? Anywhere you see x, you put... Anybody? 2t plus 1. So h of 2t plus 1 will equal 2t plus 1 squared minus 3 times 2t plus 1. Multiply it out. 2t plus 1, 2t plus 1 minus 6t minus 3. Then after that guys,
Where are you going to leave them?
do you see the 2t plus 1 squared, Sean?
Yeah.
What is 2t plus 1 squared? It means 2t plus 1 multiplied by?
2t.
That's where I got those from. What's 3 times 2t plus 1?
Minus 6.
Minus 3. Okay? And I got it from the original formula. Whatever my input is squared, take away whatever the 3 times whatever the input is.
What is h bracket 2 plus 1?
2t plus 1. That's what it asked me in the second part. It's in the question.
Do we have an equal sign?
Yeah, I brought it down here
Alright.
because I didn't have enough space. So what do we get guys? Anybody?
4t squared.
Yeah. Plus 2t plus 2t plus 1. How many t's do we have? 4t minus 6t. 1 minus 3. Minus 2. Okay, any questions on that one? What we're going to do here guys is I'm going to do the most easy thing ever. I'm going to use my function, my calculator. Alright, I'll go to this first because this is just easy money. Now, take a rough guess of how far you need to go. Let's call it, yeah, go on, go for minus 4. And how far on the other way?
8.
Go 8, why not? And if we don't get it, we can always change it. Now look at this. Find out where it hits, where the y value is 0. Anybody see it yet? Minus 2, 0. Thank you very much. Next part. Where is the y value 0? 0? Oh sorry, where is the x value 0? 0 minus 8.
What number did you find on the y-axis?
0. Because x is 0 and it has to be minus 8 on the y-axis. See there? Find the other one. Did we get it? Just about 4. 0. Now, let's not become too reliant on your calculator either. I'm going to show you how to do that without the calculator. If you remember the calculator, awesome. If you don't, here's how you go about doing it. F of x equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. Can anybody give me another letter for f of x?
Okay.
Y. The y value is always the f of x value. Look at your calculator. You draw the x value on the left and the y value is 0. So look at this point 4, 0. The x value is 4. Are you listening, right? But the y value is 0. Do you remember drawing these graphs? And remember, left and right. The right side is the output or the y values. The left side is the x values. And you can draw your graph. Okay? So here's what we know. The point A and the point B are located on which axis? They're located on the x-axis. Y equals 0. Put this equation equal to 0. Solve this equation. What do we get? X minus 4, x plus 2 equals 0. It's a quadratic equation, right? Then you have x minus 4 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, and what's our answer then? X equals minus 2 and x equals 4. There are the two answers we got, aren't they? You happy with that?
Are you getting the x minus 4 and x plus 2?
Remember the reference number? The reference number is minus 8. It's the last number. Break up minus 8 into two numbers that multiply to give you minus 8. But yet when they add them together they give you minus 2. So minus 4 and...
You actually do like those side of the brackets when it's x squared.
Yeah, but when it's 2x squared, 3x squared, there's a longer way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now guys, what about how do we find the C value without using the calculator? What value is guaranteed to be 0 at sig? So we can replace it with
0.
So y equals f of 0. Replace x with 0. And what happens when you replace x with 0? You get minus 8. And that is the point 0 minus 8. Happy enough with that? Okay. Is there any more to that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's write down the range of values for x, which x squared minus 2x minus 8
Is less than 0.
is less than or equal to 0.
Okay, so write down the values for which x squared minus 2x minus 8 is less than or equal to 0. What is x squared minus 2x minus 8? It's the same thing as f of x. You want to find out when f of x is smaller than 0. That's the same question. When is f of x smaller than 0? When is the y value smaller than 0? You tell me.
From A to B.
Is it bigger than 0 or smaller than 0?
Bigger.
Y value is bigger, y value is bigger. It starts here and ends smaller, 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 equal. Starts at A, ends at B. So it's going to be minus 2 is smaller than x, x is smaller than 4. All the values between minus 2 and 4.